Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don. With me is Nick and Joe.
We are officially back
Yes. Oh, I'm so thrilled.
after
Oh,
a long silence.
oh yeah. Hey, Tom. Hey, Thomas. How's it going? Hey, oh yeah, time to pick up the phone. Oh yeah, the that's the one scene that everybody always talks about in this movie. So,
Yeah.
yes. So we figured that since tomorrow was April Fool's Day, why not cover a horror comedy? And with the new movie being released in June, we're going back to cover the original Scary Movie.
Yeah, why not? So might as well do it when you have the chance.
Oh yes, and I have a lot of fond memories of watching this movie as a kid when I was too young to watch this movie.
Yeah, one of those type of movies.
Oh yeah. So I guess we'll start off with when did you guys first see this movie?
Oh man. Um Man, it was definitely several years ago. I know it was during my middle school years. To be honest, I haven't even to this day I still haven't seen the full movie. I've seen no. That's not to say that I've never seen it at all. I have seen, several parts of it. Just you have to remember too, at the time that I was watching it, we didn't have all these movie watching websites, and we couldn't record stuff back then like we could now. But that was probably as close as I could say is the first time that saw it. So at least in some way or shape or form, I did still see at least parts of it.
Oh, nice. And oh, that's Joe's dog. Okay.
Joe's dog, the howling.
Yeah, that howling. I believe we already covered that one.
Yeah, we did. We did.
I saw this movie, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. I just, you know, and then I watched it again 2 days ago. So,
Ah, I see. And for me, I watched this. I believe when I was 10, when my older cousins rented it, and I watched it with them.
Oh man. So you were quite young when you saw it yourself.
Oh yeah. And this
Yeah.
was let's see, it was just 2 years after it came out. So
It was 2000, right? It came out.
yep, it came out in the year. It came out in July 7th, 2000. That's
Okay,
right.
so I was right then. So yeah, you saw it done in 2002.
Yep, that's right. And love it so much that I actually have the first three movies. And to me, the first three were like the only ones that are worth watching. I'm hoping the new one is as good as the original three.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we saw the trailer for it, so it did look pretty good from that standard. Cause,
Oh yeah, the Wayans brothers are back.
hey, Kate's here in the chat.
Hey.
Speaking of those who's back, there's Kate in the chat. What's up, Kate?
it seems like a lot of the horror movies are only good up until 3, and then after that, they kind of suck.
Well, in some instances, yes. And yeah, but there are exceptions. I mean, I thought Friday the 13th Part 4, Final Chapter, was good.
Yeah, because that could have really been the. Oh, and by the way, look who's also back too.
Slinks.
Hello, Slinkers. Slinky needs to make her appearance. You know what? At this point, we ought to start making Slinky because she shows up all the time when I'm on my show. When I'm on anyone's shows, she ought to at this point be the mascot.
She's the mascot, the mascot of the Fear Fans podcast, right there. Love it.
Not just Fear Fans, just the mascot of any podcast that I'm on.
Nice.
And now she's gone. She just wanted to make her appearance.
Nice. And I love how this movie was just made as a family effort with the Wayans brothers. It was directed by Keenan and Ivory Wayans, and who also it was directed and produced by him, and his brothers Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans also wrote this film and played characters in it.
That's what made that so genius. I mean,
Yes.
that's what made the film so good. I mean, the Wayans brothers were just genius when it comes to comedy.
Oh yes, and oh yeah, that's very true. And I have high hopes for the new one now that they're back after 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I often wonder if, even though there have been several sequels that have been made over the years since the original one first came out,
Yep.
I wonder if, because they sometimes do this with some movies in the franchise, even though yes, there's sequels, but they don't necessarily like because again, I haven't really seen many of the sequels, so I know there's not a real huge connection between the two,
Hmm.
and um, but I often wonder maybe that considering that this marks 25 years after the well,
After
technically
the second one.
I was gonna say yeah, technically 26. So let me just refrain that or
Right.
correct myself. Um, I often wonder if this could be like that type of movie where it might make a direct connection to the like a direct sequel to the original one, like they do with some of these movies where it will ignore a good portion of the franchise and just kind of focus on the original.
Yeah, as long as it ignores the fifth movie, that one was horrible.
I've never seen. I heard about that,
Good.
and I have no plans of seeing that one.
Good. Keep it that way. Oh man. But as for the movie itself, it's got like humor that borders on childish, but it's just silly. But it's just overall silly in the best way.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, I think that's the other thing too. I remember, like, when I started watching it, I still and this, you know what? Now that I looking back on it, there's might have been another reason why I didn't really watch the whole film at a young age because of the overall silliness of it. I just didn't take it seriously, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but to me back then it was. I mean, obviously now it's different the age I'm at currently, but back then I thought it was supposed to be kind of almost like I looked at it as like an insult to these classic horror movies. So
Right.
it's almost like as if yes, I did find some scenes funny, but I felt like I took offense to it. It's like for God's sakes, why they have to make fun? Like they've made fun of their name, and it just I just remember I think I was just more. I liked I again some scenes were funny, but I think I was probably more outraged for lack of a better term. But obviously, at just 11 or 12 years old that or even yeah, about 11 or 12, I still didn't really get the understanding of the so-called parody movies at that time. So it wasn't really till probably many as I got older into my teens that I really understood what the whole meaning of that movie was supposed to be about. So
Oh,
in my eyes, in my young kids' eyes, I saw it as the worst movie ever. It was just like I mean, even when people were trying to get me to rewatch it, it's like, oh come on, man, seriously, that had to have been the worst movie I think I've ever seen in my entire life. But of course, obviously, that's changed now over the years because now I have better knowledge and experience when it comes to those type of movies. Yeah, it
yeah,
was the TikTok of our time. It really was.
pretty much. Oh yeah, that's true. The names that take on like parody like the name of the actors from the movies that they make fun of. Like the opening scene, the character Drew is from Drew Barrymore, who played Casey in the opening of Scream.
Yeah.
Yep, and she was played by Carmen Electra, of course.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Carmen Electra was in it.
Yeah,
I actually
and
forgot about her.
oh yeah, and like now as an adult watching this, I find the movie even more funny. Like, like how the opening, like she was saying, like, oh, her favorite scary movie is Kazam, where Shaq plays a genie, and the killer's like, that's not a
Oh,
horror movie.
Shaq. I forgot Shaq was in it too.
Yeah, and the killer's like, that's not a horror movie, and she's like, well, apparently you haven't seen Shaq act. And I'm now thinking back to Kazam. I mean, the movie does focus on a genie, which is a grown adult male who spends the movie following a young kid around. So she may be onto something there.
Well, it's just hard
No,
to believe.
maybe it is scary.
Well, I'm not. I'm not trying to make fun of Shaq, but I will at least say this: he is. I mean, yeah, he's an awesome guy, but he is a bit intimidating. He's like 7 feet tall, so probably seeing him is kind of a bit scary. Because, I mean, Joe, you said it's about my height that I'm pretty intimidating myself. Hey, Kathy,
Yep.
Cat,
Hey, Catherine.
good to see you here. So, um, I know you've always said, Joe, that I'm quite intimidating, but imagine if I was standing next to Shaq. I would no longer be the intimidating figure anymore.
Oh yeah, and yes, yes,
That's,
you're right.
that's why he stopped doing those commercials for Papa John's or whatever pizza that he bought out.
He's
He scared off all the customers from calling in.
It's not even just that. He's done like everything. He's like in so many. He was like in so many commercials. He was in the what those house commercials saying about 60 years about. I don't remember what company it was that he was referencing.
Shakana?
Oh yeah.
I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I just feel like there's plenty of things in Kazam that did not age well because there was a scene where the main character, the kid, wakes up one morning and Shaq is right there in bed with him. If I saw that, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm calling the cops."
Yeah, that's funny.
But let's see. Here,
I just decided to look up General Insert. General Insert. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. General Insurance commercials. That's what Shaq was in.
Yes,
along
that's right.
with Icy Hot. I remember those. Those were also from the early 2000s. Some Pepsi commercials and Macy's.
That's right. I remember those.
He's like in everything.
He was. He really was. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to. Here, Billy wanted me to show you a comment. Hold on, let me scroll back up and. Oh, here. Shannon Elizabeth's character is Buffy. Yeah, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because Sarah Michelle Gellar played that character in that show, and she was also a character in I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was also parodied in this.
Funny enough, I was just talking with someone last night who was just watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer on television. So it's funny you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Macy's commercials were popular, Santi. I remember those. Yep.
Yeah, man. Just thinking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer makes me miss Michelle Trachtenberg and also like Nick. What was his name? He just died. He played Xander in that show.
Yeah,
I can't believe two of them dead within a year.
I know.
Nicholas Brendan, that's his name.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna say one more thing about Shaq, and you might not actually realize that I never even told you about this, Don. This was several years ago. I'm not going to go into detail. It's going to sound a little bit unrelated, but I'm going to go right into the detail of what I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, several years ago, probably almost 10 years ago now, I actually went out on a date with a different girl. Obviously, that girl is like gone. I don't know whatever happened with her. But at the time that we only went out for one date. It was just a one and done thing. But at the time that I was with her, she actually told me that she had a relative of hers who knew Shaq personally. And I was like, and I remember she was telling me that. I was like, "You're kidding me." And she's like, "No, she wasn't." She's like, they had some type of, not necessarily close relationship with him, but one of her family members did know him. And I don't remember exactly what because again, it was almost 10 years ago. I just don't remember what it was. But either way, hearing that was pretty cool to hear, thinking, wow, check that out. Like, even though she didn't necessarily know him personally, knowing the fact that one of her family members did, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I feel the same way about my cousin Allie, who's an actress. I told you that. I think I've said that a bunch of times on this channel. But yeah, my cousin Allie Coburn, she's worked with a lot of great people in movies. Like when she was in that movie Neighbors, she actually did go on a date with Zac Efron, and I'm just like, whoa, that's amazing. Yeah, it was just one date. Nothing happened after that. Yeah, but
it was probably like one of those, you get to hang out with me or something like for one day or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. I know some actors and actresses do that, like spend a day with me, or like come out and work on this or win a prize to spend a day, that kind of thing. Probably one of those type of guys.
Well, it wasn't like win a prize or anything. She did
not a prize, but you get what I mean, though.
I know, yeah, I hear that. But she worked with him in that movie and the Neighbors, and so they went on one date and then that was it. But coincidentally, she actually is married to another guy named Zach, who's also an actor, and I'm thrilled to announce that they just had their second kid together now.
Well, that's awesome. Congrats to them.
Oh yeah, she was also in American. Yeah, that's right, American Reunion, where she played Kara. Yes, and she's also in The Baxters on Amazon Prime. Definitely check that show out.
Really interesting.
Yep. Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
Yeah, Jeremy Brunton. Has he watched our shows before? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. The name looks new to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's Joe. Have you seen that on your shows before? Yeah, I think that's a new viewer. Well, in that case, I'm gonna say Jeremy Brunton because we also have another Jeremy on this network, but in case by the name of Jeremy Yorks. But for Jeremy Brunton, either way, welcome, welcome.
Yes, welcome. And so, yeah, that opening scene really set the tone for like the kind of ridiculousness you'd be in for. Like when she's from something like when she makes the popcorn the old-fashioned way in reference to Scream, and then the popcorn keeps on bag keeps on inflating impossibly big.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he says, I like, she's like, why do you want to know my name? He says, I want to know who I'm looking at. And it turns out he's outside like on a bench reading a Playboy magazine with her in it, apparently. I'm like, wow.
God. Of course.
And she's like, I want to see what you look like. And she's like, well, turn to page 54.
Oh, so
Oh
here,
my
check this
God.
out. What Jeremy Brunton just said. Yeah, caught a show. Jeremy York in the past saw you. Oh, okay. So he's a So he's a past viewer. Just probably hasn't seen this show. Well, you're still new, at least watching this show. But either way, welcome, Jeremy. So
Yes.
always
Welcome.
appreciate it. Also, real quick, just before we get to, I just want to get to Santis quickly. Tara, okay, no. Not we're not counting. Teen Titans Go is absolute shit. If you want to think of Tara from any part of Teen Titans, it is the original good animated series that aired. Funny enough, a few years after Scary Movie in the early 2000s, that is the only one I'll think about. Teen Titans Go does not count. It's absolute shit. It may have the same voice actors, but it's absolute shit.
That's right. That's great. That's like, I refuse to ever watch that reboot along with that god awful looking reboot they did of what was it, Thundercats? It was like an
Oh
anime.
God, yeah, that. Along with, and bet you didn't know this, Teen Titans Go even did a crossover, which that just was awful.
Oh,
They did they did a crossover with the Powerpuff Girls reboot that was running
oh
at that time.
God.
And I hate to bring this up, Don. This is on one of your favorite characters. They even did an episode where they featured Beetlejuice in it.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I did watch that clip, and first of all, it was not the same guy, and secondly, I was not impressed. Thinking, you
yeah,
know what,
no.
this show, it's never gonna have a chance.
Yeah, Thundercats Go. Yeah, that one was terrible.
You know what? That's how I feel anytime I do see that. I'm just looking like, shh.
Yeah, I felt that way when I watched the first episode of Velma. Yeah, never again, ever again. Let's see. Oh, I think there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, like there was actually another movie that was released the same year as Scary Movie. It was also a horror parody. It was called Shriek If You Saw What I Did Last Summer.
Yes.
Yeah. It was pretty much, I mean, right now it's pretty much a forgotten film. It was supposed to be released theatrically, but then when Scary Movie was announced, they felt like they couldn't compete with it, so it was straight to video.
Yeah, I figure. And another, not necessarily a parody, but there was also one other movie that came out in 2002, which maybe, and I mean 2000, not 2002. Not necessarily a parody, and it's probably something we could talk about sometime down the road. But it's supposed to be based off of a classic horror film. I forgot what the name of it was. It was a vampire film, and it was supposed to be kind of on the take on Nosferatu, because there was that urban legend that supposedly the actor that portrayed Count Orlok in the original 1922 film, I forgot his name. His name was what was it? Max Schreck. That's what it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there was that urban legend supposedly saying that Max Schreck, who portrayed Count Orlok, because his performance was so realistic and so terrifying, that there were these legends saying that he was actually a vampire, which in fact he was not. Although, truth be told, if you look at actual pictures of him, he did kind of have a creepy look. But that movie, whatever the title was supposed to be on the take on the urban legend that he was actually a vampire. So It's interesting when you think that the year 2000 released quite a number of films, not just parody films, but they just like also released other movies that were based off of classic horror films,
Yeah.
just to take on the urban legends or just a different take on a classic movie.
Yeah,
So
I feel like the big slasher craze of the teen slasher craze of the '90s is what sparked that, because it's like there's somebody, and like the fact that a lot of those had some humor to it, like Scream. It's like, yeah, Scream had some serious things going on in it, but there was humor to it, and
exactly. So like to me, in my opinion, I don't think they could have chose a better time to make movies like that, especially at the start of the new millennium.
right,
To really like start off with kind of almost like a new genre or a new take on horror movies at that time.
and that's true. So,
Oh, and that movie, actually, I just decided to look it up. That movie was called Shadow of the Vampire. And yeah, that came out.
yeah, that I remember. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Shadow of the
Yeah,
Vampire.
that came out. It came out right at the end of 2000. It was December 29th of 2000. It came out. So first, it was actually at a film festival on May 15th, but it didn't get released until fully December of 2000.
Let's see. Yeah, Willem Dafoe was in that, I think.
Yeah, I believe. Yes, he was. Yes, he
Let's
was.
see. Oh wait,
And
yes,
John
he played
Malkovich.
Max Shrek. He played Max Shrek.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John Malkovich is also in it too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey,
But the
how's
difference
it
is
going?
compared to Scary Movie. Hey, Nikki, good to see you here.
Nikki.
Difference is obviously only like Scary Movie. Yes, it's a take on Nosferatu, but it was not necessarily meant to be a parody.
Right. Oh yeah, Sant. Yeah, it's true, Nick. They made a horror movie out of Pinocchio. Pinocchio went
Oh
strong.
God.
I did a reaction video to it, which is getting quite a few views.
Well,
Oh, gee.
they do that to Winnie the Pooh and what was the other one? There was another one.
They were gonna do one
They're
with
ruining
Mickey
my
Mouse.
childhood. I mean, it's all this stuff that you grow up on, and then they're turning it into horror movies.
Yeah,
They
I was
were going to do that too with Mickey Mouse, apparently. So, because apparently, I bet you guys didn't know this, because I think it was Greg who said this, but he had told me and Jeremy a few years ago on an episode of either with Supernatural Talk or 13th Dimension that I don't know how it's possible, but somehow Disney is somehow losing the rights to Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
So because of that very reason, that's when they started thinking, well, if Disney's going to lose the rights to Mickey Mouse, then that means we could probably make a movie out of it, just like we did with Winnie the Pooh and Pinocchio and some of these other crazy movies that they've been making.
Yeah, I'm just picturing it right now. You know, like Mickey chasing people with a knife, saying, "I'm gonna kill you all."
You know,
You do that well.
I'm just going to say, I'm almost going to see it very much like Mickey Mouse from like when they used him in South Park. He beat
I
the hell
remember
out of
that.
all his
I remember
brothers.
that.
Oh man, that's among some of my favorite episodes. It's
That's
just the way how they portray him is so funny.
So ridiculous. Yeah, but yeah, that seems to be a new trend. They're making horror movies out of classic Disney characters.
Well, I kind of like making the fun out of some of them horror movies, because the first parody I ever saw was Saturday the 14th.
Oh
yeah,
yeah. I've heard of that one.
I remember that one. Yes.
It was like kind of making fun and poking fun at, Friday the 13th.
Right.
But it had vampires, and it was a total, it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
nonstop laughter.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's been a
so
while
here-
since I've seen it.
The Vermont Horror Fantasy and Sci-Fi Expo. That sounds really cool. I'm surprised I haven't heard about that one. I mean, not saying that it would be difficult to get all the way to Vermont, but
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool to check out, though. I mean, definitely. Well, it's not till the end of April, but when we get closer, I'll say you have a great time out there, Jeremy Brunton. And now we got Jeremy York in the
Yep.
chat.
I was about to say, Jeremy Brunton. Hope you meet some great people there, because yeah, I've been to a ton of conventions, and I always, oh man, it's always a memorable experience meeting all sorts of actors and actresses and filmmakers.
Yeah. Jeremy York here says, just wanted to hop on and say, well, Scary Movie isn't the first horror, which is true. It isn't the first horror parody. It is the first truly successful one. There was, I just thought of another horror parody, and this came out actually in the mid '80s. It's not a very well known film, um, even though even though it does have some big names. In fact, among those is actually Vincent Price. It was one of the it was one of the few movies he did. I mean, horror movies he did in the 1980s. It was called what was that called? It was called Bloodbath at the House of Death, and it's a British horror comedy film. And it is a parody. In addition to Vincent Price, it also stars Penny Everett, Pamela Stevenson, and it's supposed to be a parody inspired by movies which at that time was still relatively recent. And it was supposed to parody movies like The Amityville Horror, Alien, The Exorcist, and Poltergeist.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
You never seen that one?
No, I think I saw that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I did years ago.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen myself, but it came out in 1984. Although I did watch a clip of it. Here's the funny thing. I'm just going to throw this, and if I'll say it again if we ever do talk about it on the show. But you know, it's kind of weird when you watch this movie because, again, I've only seen a clip of it. It's with Vincent Price, who stars as like a satanic priest. Mm-hmm. And it is, I kid you not, it is one of the few times that he actually swears on camera. But it's funny, too, at the same time. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to watch that one again. And
you have seen it? Okay,
I have. It was a while back.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it myself. Well, apart from the clip, I haven't seen the full movie yet, but I did watch that part. I'm not even joking. I literally like, wait a minute. Did I just hear what I think he just said? And I had to rewind it back. Like, oh my God! Oh shit! I burned my hand. And they all repeat after it.
Oh yeah. But I wanted to finish explaining the opening scene. I love how it also parodies the sort of tropes in horror films. Like it makes fun of like characters making dumb decisions. Like when she's confronted by the ghost face, she, instead of just going out the front door, she runs to a table where there's weapons set down, like a gun, a knife, and even a grenade. But she takes the banana.
Oh God!
Yeah.
And then she runs outside and comes across two signs. Like one sign says "This way to safety," the other sign says "This way to death." She goes the way to death.
Of course.
And then Ghostface it tears off her shirt, tears off her skirt. She's running around in her underwear and into sprinklers.
I always made a point about horror movies. The women always end up trying to escape in their underwear.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Friday the 13th is a good example of one of those, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I just thought of another movie that did that too. Was freaking Humanoids from the Deep.
Oh God, that movie is kind of disturbing.
It is disturbing, but I thought it was just kind of funny because it's like,
not even gonna comment on that, Billy.
yeah, like I'm just gonna say I thought this was just kind of, it's a messed up movie, but what I thought was kind of funny about that seemed like for something like that we just brought up is that tent scene basically, and when one of those humanoid creatures tries to attack the woman, she runs out of the tent, and then you realize suddenly that she's played by a redhead with, not to sound weird, but with a breast size about 3 times larger than the woman in the tent.
Oh God!
But it just goes with that. It just goes with with what you guys are talking about. Is they always run out when they're like in a horrific situation like that of survival.
Kate says, "Why aren't the men running around in there?"
Yeah.
Maybe that has happened. Maybe
there is. Yeah, I thought I was going to
shower scene.
Okay, yeah. And there's always a shower scene. That's because of Psycho.
Yeah.
Psycho
yeah. Totally. And
that shower scene from Psycho has been
iconic.
It's iconic, and it's been reused and remastered in so many different ways, even in cartoon form.
That's right.
It is. You know what? I was just thinking, Don, I don't know if you remember, this goes back again to that, around that same period that we grew up in. You remember, I don't know if you remember, an episode, you remember Dexter's Laboratory?
Yep.
There was an episode like where his dad was taking a shower, and suddenly it's all in black and white, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden someone comes in, and of course, obviously back then I didn't realize that was a parody scene out of such a classic horror movie as Psycho. I thought it was just made for the show. Or at least I thought it, well, or maybe at least I thought, well, it must have been based on something, but I just didn't know what it was.
And Psycho was based on who?
That was based on the real life killer, Ed Gein.
Yeah, based on the novel by Robert Bloch.
Robert Bloch, yeah.
Yes, and which was based on Ed Gein, or inspired by Ed Gein.
Correct.
Yes. And yeah, I also know that was series WTF. That series WTF moment when Ghostface finally like stabs her in the chest, but his knife pulls out her breast implant, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, wow, really?
I mean,
you would have thought they would have been bigger.
I mean, it is Carmen Electra, so.
Yeah, it is. What do you? I was gonna say, what do you expect? It's Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Hey,
and,
Pickle Tom!
Hey,
Pickle
Tom.
Tom's in the house.
And let's see. Oh, also we gotta mention like the bedroom scene where Bobby is going goes up to Cindy's bedroom. But I noticed one thing I never saw before until recently, where there's a neon sign that said "open." Like, who would put that in their kid's bedroom? Seriously.
I mean, unless it's like one of those. Because I will admit, when I was younger, I did have a neon sign, but it was just like a plug-in one. Like it was like one that you can move anywhere, but it was also just like it just had like the earth. It had some like the earth or something on it. But like I understand if it was something like that, but for a different type of neon sign, yeah, that is kind of strange.
Yeah, my neon sign was a guitar with a clock on it. Yeah, but yes, there was a cameo in that scene where right when Cindy and Bobby were making out on the bed, and then the theme song for Dawson's Creek played, because Dawson's Creek was on TV at the time. You know, it was still going in 2000, and so then James Van Der Beek ends up climbing up to the window, and then looks around and he says, "Oh, wrong set." I'm like, wow.
Neon sign rules. One letter has to be on the. Yeah, it is true. One letter has to be on the blink. You don't want it to be always like straight up.
Oh yeah. And let's see. And let's talk about more about the other characters. Who is your favorite character of this whole movie?
I would have to say basically the guy, or the guys, if you will, who play Ghost Freak in that movie, especially like when Ghost Freak got high later in the movie.
Dave Sheridan, that's who played him. Who played Ghost Freak? Who played Doofy?
It's been so long since I've seen
it. It was the parody of Dewey. His name is Doofy in this.
Doofy. Okay.
Yeah, Doofy.
Yeah, and yeah, I love how his mask, like the expressions on his mask change in certain situations, like the famous scene that everybody always talks about in this, the "What's Up" parody.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, the Budweiser "What's Up."
Oh my god. That brought back some
because
memories.
I just got to say what Santi was just saying about Pickle, because he said this funny nickname of Pickle Rick. Yeah, we know about Pickle Rick, and Tom. That's Pickle Tom is where we got Pickle. Well, Pickle Rick is what inspired me to start calling Tom Pickle Tom.
Yep.
So it's all thanks to Pickle Rick. Hey, you know what? Morty, I turned myself into a pickle.
Oh yeah, and yes, Shorty absolutely is the best character of this whole movie to me, because it's like literally he's like, oh man, like he's the stoner of this movie, and I always wanted to know like what character he was based on. It turns out he wasn't based on a specific character from a movie. Marlon Wayans actually based Shorty on a friend he has in real life, who does a lot of weed, and who's a big stoner, who just then he saw this movie and said, "Hey, you did me a solid here. Can I get an Oscar for this?" And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's another kind of rule that you have to have, because considering it's a take, again, a parody on slasher movies, you have to have a stoner in that movie. That's just kind of the rules with the slasher films, is always have a stoner with you.
Well, it's not just a stoner. I mean, there's always somebody smoking a joint and passing it around. I mean, the first what, the first 2 or 3 Friday the 13th movies, they had a joint.
Yep.
Uh, Lori, Lori and her best friend, from Halloween, the characters from Halloween,
Annie,
they were
yeah,
smoking a joint, and then they saw her father, the deputy, and they like had to hide it.
the
Yep.
sheriff, yeah,
You
Yeah,
got it. Yeah, yeah,
that's
that's
right.
just something
you
that you
know,
have to have in those type of movies.
Oh yeah, and let's see. I wonder if the Screamcast met the Scary Movie cast. That maybe they have,
I
maybe.
don't know. And Tom, I'm just I like what Tom does say. He's like, "Stop it, Nick. I could do it better. I could do it better." Oh, jeez, Rick, I'm just trying my best. No, Tom.
And
No one can do it better than Tom.
oh yeah, I mean, I like how a lot of the humor in this is like, like a lot of and like the things that go on in this movie are unrealistic, like and like just over the top, but still funny as hell. Like when when Cindy and Bobby were making out, and Bobby was trying to reach down to her. Yeah, but he got zapped by this electrified fence that's like surrounding her crotch, and I was like, okay, that's like
Oh,
obviously unrealistic, but just perfectly stupidly funny.
yeah, it
yeah.
was.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I
I
mean,
just have
that's
no
some,
comment for that.
well,
yeah,
as a father, that's like, in place of a chastity belt, Guy
pretty
goes
much.
down with his hands once and boom. He ain't
Yeah.
gonna try again, is he?
Nope. But oh man, and also let's see.
I'm
Oh
glad
yeah.
they never invented something like that when I was young. I had
Oh,
no hand left.
which scary movie was it where Reeves rolled up Shorty and smoked him? Oh, that was Scary Movie 2. That's yeah.
Wait, what
And
did?
yeah, it was. But yeah, there was a scene in Scary Movie 2 where Shorty was like growing on his own marijuana plant, and when he was like when he got into bed and was watching like a hip hop album commercial, the plant was like growing rapidly and became like the size of the room, or like as tall as the room, and grabbed Shorty and just rolled him up in a sheet, making him look like a marijuana cigarette, and then started smoking Shorty, like lighting lighting his afro on fire, like on fire at the end. It just looked like he looked like a marijuana joint.
Now,
Hey, the weed smokes you.
it's actually funny when you think about it again because we've been talking about this a couple of times. But the fact that this also came out in 2000, to me, it pretty much is a movie that was kind of ahead of its time. Like that would have been almost like a type of movie I would have
That was my
expected
favorite
more.
scene.
Yeah, it's like it was a type of movie. It's a type of movie that I would have expected more for it to be released like for the 2010s or 20s, but instead, because everyone now smokes weed nowadays,
The
so you would
faces
think
that
that. But of
Ghostface
course,
made were.
it
Yeah,
was
I mean,
2000. It was 2000, so it was truly ahead of its time.
yeah, I mean, back in 2000, weed was highly looked down on, and now we're becoming more accepting of it. I mean, hell, I got a dispensary down the street from me. I mean, I will say for the record, I don't smoke weed. I'm not. I have no interest in trying it, but I know people have mixed opinions on it. But you know what? To be fair, I mean, weed does have medicinal properties. I mean, there are people out there who use it for that purpose.
That's why I
That is
do it.
true. Yeah, Joe does it all the time.
I'm a cancer survivor, and if you don't know my story, it's out there. But I survived leukemia. It's a blood cancer. I had to go through chemotherapy, radiation treatments, total body eradication, bone marrow transplant, all that shit. And I had it at a time when the medical advances weren't so advanced on things like that,
Yeah,
and you know, and that was like 95. So, over the last couple of decades, the medical advances have advanced quite a bit.
right.
But I had to take 20 pills 3 times a day. So that's 60 pills a day total I had to take. They covered my immune system and all of this, right? And I got
Yeah,
told by my BMT doctor, the specialist, bone marrow transplant specialist, that if I could get my hands on it, it would help me with my appetite, and because the radiation destroyed my stomach lining, so I don't have an appetite. I don't even think about
Yeah.
eating,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
unless I smoke something to get that appetite and get
Yeah,
the
you get
munchies.
the munchies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, we're glad to still have you with us, Joe.
So I mean,
Yeah,
it has a lot more medical
Tom.
benefits than anything out there when it comes to drugs. I mean, those drugs that I was taking, that pot has pretty much, allowed me to get rid of. Pot has allowed me to lead a normal life. And when I was on the pills that I had to take for the pain and everything else, I was in bed about 95% of the time,
Oh, wow.
sleeping,
Oh.
because they all had side effects, may cause drowsiness.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you got to take, you take multiple pills that may cause drowsiness because you're required to, or because you have to. You know, you're going to end up being in bed more time than you are, spending time with your kids or your family or your friends, or leading a productive life.
That's
And,
right.
and when she told me to do that, it caused a few personal issues, but at the same time, I was able to lead a productive life. You know,
Yeah.
I drove
Absolutely.
cab for a living. I was able to go to work for a few years. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you were able to live your life.
yeah.
yeah.
That's what's most
You're a
important.
true survivor, Joe.
Yes, sir.
So and that's my spirit animal is a wolf
Hmm.
because we're
Hell yeah.
survivors.
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
That's why the Siberian husky, is my pet. She's not my pet. She's part of my family. She's my companion when my wife ain't here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure.
That's great to hear.
Oh, here also done. Ghostface mask changes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was. That's what I
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
There's like
that scene was hilarious too.
yeah, and also the scene where Shorty and his friends at a party were like in their own room like right after Shorty parodied the "I See Dead People" from The
It's,
Sixth Sense, and then Ghostface. Then they decide they ran out of papers, so they decided to try to create a bong, and they did so with the filter system of an aquarium, and. So as they were doing that, Ghostface walks in. You expect him to like go kill them all, right? But no, he just joins them on smoke and on like, and they're like talk, 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 talk.
yeah. Yep. Hey, Broxton. Good to see you here.
Oh yeah. And then he decides to make calls saying, "What's your favorite
Oh,
scary
sorry.
movie?" And they
Sorry.
all joined him on that. Hey Braxton.
I didn't mean to click it. I didn't mean to click it again. I didn't realize.
No, no, you're good. You're good. And well, let's see. What other scenes do you guys remember from a scary movie that you like?
Oh man. What else do I do? Again, it's been so long. What else do I remember from that?
What about the Blair Witch Project parody?
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say, Don. You'll have to bring up some scenes so if I could to help me remember. So, no, yeah, I do remember that part. Yeah, which
Yeah,
at that time was just a year after. Which that was just a year after Blair Witch came out.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I remember the commercials for that movie. And let's
Oh,
see.
check this. Sorry, just got to put this up. What Santi just said.
Yes,
Go with his aunt.
Oh,
Cancer
my
too.
prayers are with her.
yes,
But
yeah,
medical advances have come a long way.
they
They
have.
really have.
Yeah, so
They really
Santi,
have.
my thoughts and prayers go out to your aunt. Hope she beats it. Um,
You go outside again.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. So Nick, you said like Blair Witch Project scene that was like when the you
Yeah.
yeah, and so it like starts off with Gail like interviewing a teen in a car who she says her name is Nancy. I'm wondering if that's a reference to Nancy, no, to Nancy like from Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, Heather Langkamp's character. Or no, her name was. Oh wait, no. The character said her name was Heather, so I'm guessing that's a reference to Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy.
It's possible.
Might
But,
be.
as a reminder,
Yeah,
we had the opportunity of meeting her at the Days of the Dead festival last year.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Heather Langenkamp, she's great.
She really is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Just like she is when she did that. What was that? The movie that they did where they were with making the movie with the, you know.
Oh, New Nightmare.
Yeah,
New
that's
Nightmare,
it.
that's what it was. Yeah.
That's right.
That's
Oh,
the one.
check this out. So I just got to say real quick, I can't tell. I think this might be another new viewer here, Frank Castle.
Yes, he's been watching some of my live streams lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, Frank
first off,
Castle, he's great. Yeah, Frank Castle. In case you don't know, Nick, Frank Castle is a reference to the Punisher.
I figured.
Yeah,
Okay, so well, first off, it's nice to meet you, Frank. So
and Braxton, we just talked about that scene earlier. Yeah, I said that like that would be unlikely to happen in real life, but in this, it's like perfectly stupidly funny.
It was.
Yeah.
Frank's asking Don, what do you think your spirit animal is?
Ooh, let's see. I think the Megalodon. You know, it's
Megalodon.
fearless. It's fearless, and no one dares to mess with it.
That is true. That is very true. And as far, I've never really thought about exactly what my spirit animal could be. Yeah, I would probably have to go through like one of those. I would have to go through a reading, like to get someone else's point of view of what they think is the spirit. I mean, I think I was told about it, what it could be before, but it's been such a long time that the last like I've thought about it. So someone's just gonna have to probably like refresh my memory into thinking like what they think is my spirit animal.
Ah. Yeah,
Oh, and his is a bull terrier.
Bull terrier. Okay, that's a good dog.
Well,
Yeah.
I survived so much that's why the wolf and I are.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out too, and this is actually something I think I should let your viewers know, Don, too. And this, like at the time that we kind of had been away for a while, I think it's kind of important for me to bring this up.
Okay.
Obviously, well, I mean, yes, this was now almost 2 years ago. As you guys know, like obviously, almost 2 years ago now, I had brain injuries, which I managed to survive. But I also want to let everyone know too, during the times that we were off the show, you know, after the beginning of the new year, I have been making better choices for myself, better health choices, better food choices, and I am proud to say that I've lost over 30 pounds.
Oh,
so not sure.
Nice.
So for everyone that's watching, I don't know if you guys can tell. I probably may not look that different, but if you really look close enough, in some way, shape, or form, my appearance has somewhat changed since the last time I was on.
Oh, yeah. And I lost 10 pounds.
What's that?
And I lost 10 pounds.
You lost 10 pounds. Good for you. But yeah, I've lost over 30 pounds and still going. Back just before I came onto the show, I was doing the exercise, so still going at it. No more cherry soda. Yeah. I don't drink. I don't drink. The only time I ever drink cherry soda, like if it's like Dr. Pepper cherry, that's during Halloween. But I don't drink it during that time of the year.
He always drinks Sprite.
I've actually I actually have toned down on the Sprite. The only time nowadays, Donna, as you know, the only time you ever see me drink that stuff is when I'm hanging out with you guys, and that's pretty much it. Those are my cheat days.
Yeah,
every other day, I keep to my schedule.
Yeah, and I know that you drink a lot of Sprites when you're hanging out with me because last time you were in the backseat of my car when we were all hanging out on the 4th of July driving to the fireworks display. I found a Sprite in my backseat in the cup holder. I know it was you. I opened when I was a couple of days after that when I was decided to clean out the car, which I always do every other day, like just to make sure everything's. But I saw that in the cup holder. I just thought, Nick, for Christ's sake, dude.
Well, it was during that whole confusion we had for 4th of July when we had to run back to the house to grab a couple things. So I was in a terrible rush.
I got you.
So,
I know.
This year,
I know. Don't worry.
I can assure you this year will be more organized and more prepared.
Yes, for sure. I know. I didn't make a huge deal out of it. I was just like, okay, whatever. I just took that drink and threw it out.
Hey, I was trying to get a Sprite sponsorship for you.
Yeah,
be glad for that.
That's our inside joke, Eric Andre.
If you guys haven't, we'll talk about it another time. But I'll just say for now, he did some funny clip. Well, the first two are the best. The other two I weren't as crazy about, but he did these funny clips involving Sprites, and it didn't make any sense. But the one thing he always said was that he was trying to look for a Sprite sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh, and Brexton brings up another scene right here from Scary Movie where there was the coach, Miss Mann, who was at the transitioning
Oh,
for.
that was disgusting.
Yeah, like it's like I feel like if they made a scene like that today, it may offend transgender people.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, now that's a scene I don't remember seeing. So that's something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just say it does
You
parody.
can't unsee it if you saw it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
well,
parodies.
so far I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it does this bit where it parodies Fatal Attraction.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that one scene in Fatal Attraction. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about.
Trying
But
to remember. I've seen Fatal Attraction. I'm just trying to remember which scene.
where she spreads her legs and then puts one leg
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah. Okay, now that you said that, yep. Because I'm not gonna lie, I saw that movie back when I was in high school, so
So did
I
I.
may have been a little too young to watch a movie like that, but I saw it anyway. I was
Yeah,
six.
that's true.
I was 16.
Yeah, apparently the Wayans brothers don't care about these times. They want to reintroduce that same humor in the new Scary Movie.
Oh
But
man.
here we also got to talk about the movie scene parody where they parodied the opening of Scream 2. They go into it's where Brenda and Ray go into the theater to see Shakespeare in Love, a movie that actually won Best Picture, by the way. Yeah, and
Oh, Shakespeare in Love. That came out in
that came out like
'98, right?
that came out a little bit before this movie did.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say something about that real quick because I mean, yeah, it may have won it may have won the award and it may be a great movie. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but I'm kind of one of those folks that kind of disagrees that it won the best picture of that year because the other movie that a lot of others think should have gotten that award was undoubtedly because it came out around the same period was undoubtedly Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's I'm kind of one of those folks like because you'll see people who comment who say, "Can't believe Shakespeare in Love got Best Picture. It should have been Saving Private Ryan." And honestly, I'm kind of on that. I guess you can say
I agree. I completely agree with you 100%, Nick. I mean, Saving Private Ryan, I consider that to be one of Steven Spielberg's absolute best films. I mean, it like, oh god, it really does. Like, it's like for me, it's my favorite war movie. Seriously.
see the least they should have done was
I mean,
release Shakespeare in Love. Like have it ready at least for 1999, just not '98, because I think if they had pushed it back, I think Saving Private Ryan would have won.
yeah. I mean, hey, at least Spielberg won Best Director.
Yeah, he still did. I mean, it still won something, but a lot of other people still think it should have won the Best Picture entirely.
Right.
You talk to people who are fans of that movie, and they'll say the same thing, saying Shakespeare should have gotten it, and or if it was going to win, they should have pushed it to the following year.
Yeah, yeah. And I like how in that scene, Brenda pretty much broke all the rules when it comes to being at a movie theater.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that I remember because now that you said that, this it just triggered another memory for myself. Not from the time that I was watching when I was very young. I actually remember my social worker back in high school. We watched a clip of it, and I think it was that scene that we watched. So yeah. Oh wow, check this out. Braxton said he's only seen a part of Save. Oh, Braxton, when you have a chance, you got to watch that movie. It is
Dude,
such.
see the whole
It is
thing. It's amazing.
It is a very powerful film. I'm not going to lie. The first time that when we watched it 2 years ago, which was on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, we watched it just a few days after the anniversary.
Oh yeah, it's.
My mom had never up until then. My mom had never seen it either. So
Oh yeah.
it was like my mom was crying when we were, and I was starting to tear up myself when I was watching it.
Yeah, it is a very gripping film. Yeah, I mean, this is like Steven Spielberg's second most emotionally gripping film. His most emotionally gripping film being Schindler's List.
Which is also set during World War II. And it's interesting when you really think of a movie. I'm just going to say real quick for Saving Private Ryan. I never knew not only how powerful that movie is, but I wasn't truly aware that at the time of its release back in 1998, especially when there were a lot more World War II survivors, especially those who were involved in D-Day.
Yeah.
That they literally had. I heard stories that they literally had to get like therapy after watching that movie because
I believe
they
it.
were actually there. They
Yeah.
were watching a replay of what they actually saw out in the battlefield, and it's just, I'm sure I can't even imagine what was going through their heads when they were seeing that. But Braxton, you got to watch it though. It's a great movie. It's a
It is.
sad movie, but there was actually one guy. I saw it was a guy on YouTube, and I completely agree with whoever this guy was that said this. He once said, "This should be a movie that, as graphic as it is, still, this should be a movie that should be shown at every school, every college, even every university, and even, well, maybe not elementary schools, but at least to middle schoolers, because to show them the true horrors of what war is really all about. It may be graphic, it may be gory, it may be violence,
But that's what it was.
It's real life. So it's supposed to almost give that message saying, because you have kids out there who always want to say, "Oh, I want to do this when I grow up," or "I want to be in the army." It's not necessarily to deter you, but just to kind of give you that awareness. Like,
Yeah.
just be careful what you're getting it's really the ultimate wish of be careful what you wish for.
That's right. And here Billy said when they parodied that scene from Titanic, saying "I'm the king of the world," that actually was Keenan Ivory Wayans in that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made it seem like they were parroting Titanic, but turns out that trailer was for like a movie focused on slavery, like a slave ship. And I'm just like, wow. But yeah, like, and also also this parodies the bathroom scene from Scream 2, where Ray goes into the bathroom. But I like how he came across the guys using urinals, like, because that's a parody of what happened in Scream 2.
Oh
But
yeah,
this
yeah,
time-
I remember
This
that.
time it was like a carnival game, like where you fire like a water gun and like try to bring like something up, and whoever reaches whoever is like horse or something reaches the top wins. They were doing that with guys peeing in the urinals, and I'm just like, really?
Oh my god.
I'm like,
Jeez.
oh my god. But yeah, like
Gave that carnival game a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't know how to feel about that. It's like it feels like something that some crazy guy would have in his bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Billy's saying like imagine if bathrooms actually did have that. Yes,
God.
it's like yes. I mean, yeah. Like of course we have urinals because we're guys. So
And Braxton just brought up another movie. Glory. That's another one you
That's
got to
another great
watch.
one, yes.
He's only seen parts of it. Yeah, that is one of the best Civil War movies. So you got to check that one out too, Braxton. This
Yeah,
made
and
almost 10 years prior to Saving Private Ryan.
that's right. And like Brent, and also I like how Brenda just, like I said, broke all the rules for movie theater. She was like talking during the movie, whipping out a camcorder, trying to record the screen, and then talked on the phone with a friend who said, "Oh, hey, my friend has seen this movie already. She said they don't stay together in the end." And right when it seemed like Ghostface was going to kill her, the audience did it for her or for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like, "This is for ruining Schindler's List. This is for talking during the Fugitive."
Oh God.
Saying like, "This is for ruining Boogie Nights and Big Mama's House." Like the Pope himself was like hitting her with the
Yeah, the Pope.
yeah. Wow. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm Catholic and I'm not offended, so
As long as you're not offended. Not as long as you're not offended.
right. And let's see. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the that scene where they do that flashback and it shows like what they did last summer.
Oh.
Yeah, where they end up hitting the guy, and when they were trying to figure out what happened, Buffy picks up a boot and says, "Oh my God, where you hit a boot?" They're like, "Where's the foot?"
Oh yeah, that's okay. So that's another part. That's probably honestly the only other part of that movie I can. Okay, so I do remember that part. Yeah,
Yeah,
might be the only other part I can recall.
yeah,
I got
and
continue bringing scenes up, but that's another part I remember now.
oh, yeah, and when they were arguing amongst each other after finding the body about what to do, it turns out the guy's not dead. He just gets up and tells them, "Hey, it's okay, I'm fine." And then he tries then he just like tries to walk away, but then they throw a bottle behind them and it ends up hitting the guy in the head and brings him down again. So then they get rid of him. I mean, something to a degree, something similar to that actually happened to me when I was 18. I was like on a bike. I was like doing my exercise, riding, and then I ended up like tumbling over and just like rolling a few times on the ground. And elderly couple saw that, and like they were like, oh, freaking out, saying, "Oh, we got to call like an ambulance or something." I just get up and I say, "Hey, don't worry, it's all right, I'm good." And then then the husband said, "No, we don't. We okay. See that? We don't have to worry. He's all right." She's like, "No, we don't. You don't know that he could have some injuries because of adrenaline." And I'm just, and then they argue amongst themselves. Like she's saying, "We got to call an ambulance," and I'm just like, "No need for that."
You never told me
Yeah.
about that
Oh
before,
yeah,
Ron.
it happened ages ago, and
Okay.
like so they were bickering, like completely ignoring me, and I was just like, "Okay, I hope you guys have a good one. I'm gonna be on my way then." And they're
That's
like,
probably what I would have done.
they're still bickering, and I'm just like, and I just walked away.
And at that point, by the time, I'm sure it was like one of those kind of moments where when they were finally done, they turn around, they probably saw you were long gone.
Yeah, probably. That's like when they say the phrase bickering like an old couple, that's exactly what happened there.
He gone. As they always say, he gone.
But, but yeah, I didn't have a single scratch on me after that, after I fell.
Well, and I'm just gonna say something about that scene when they threw the guy up. Are they absolutely sure that the guy was dead? I mean, I got a feeling I felt like he was probably most likely just knocked out, and that was it.
Yeah. That could, well, actually, he did regain consciousness as they were trying to close the trunk. When he was trying to get up, they kept like hitting the trunk like on his head. They don't know
Oh
he's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They're like, the trunk is not closing. They're like, okay, here, let me do it. Boom. And then that knocks him unconscious. Yeah, these
That's,
guys,
okay, at that point, if they did that, then yeah, they probably definitely killed him. Then at that point,
yeah. God, like these teenagers are so stupid, but that's the point. They're like making fun of how dumb like people are in scary movies.
yeah, exactly. It's like they're just making the dumbest of decisions, and it's insane for what they're doing.
Yeah, and I like how when they were like, "Wait, we should check his wallet." Why? Well, he might have some money. I mean, we already killed him. Might as well rob him. And I'm just, it's like, hey,
Wow.
I make that joke when I play video games too, like where it's like I take down an enemy, a bad guy, whatever, and you know how like you get to collect ammo or money from your enemies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, hey, we already killed him, so might as well rob him too.
There was something like that too, and I just thought of another parody horror movie, which was released during the height of the slasher craze of the '80s, Slumber Party Massacre.
That's right.
You know what?
I
Yeah,
know
there
it.
was that. Yeah, there was that one scene where the girls they accidentally kill the pizza guy. One of the girls gets hungry and he ends up taking the pizza out from underneath him and then puts it on his back and eats the pizza off this poor dead guy.
Oh my
Like
God.
saying that if it was still cold or something. Like such a mean spirited but such a hilarious scene at the same time.
Oh yeah, I hear that. Oh,
Well, it's just like it just goes along with that, saying, "Well, the dude is dead, but we'll take what he's got. We may
yeah,
have killed somebody, but we'll take it anyway.
yeah, but hey, we got a free pizza.
And we don't. Hey, at least they don't have to worry about paying the bill at this point.
Oh yeah, especially if you order Lou Malnati's here. You know how expensive like deep
Oh,
dish pizza is. Oh,
oh
here in
man, I mean,
Chicago.
it's great.
Yeah,
It's great to get, but man, it's expensive as hell. But that's been like that. That's been going on
oh,
forever.
oh yeah, that's how it is in Chicago. It's like we probably pay like 40 to $50 for a deep dish for a whole large deep dish pizza, but it's worth it. Lou
Yeah,
Malnati's, Lou Malnati's, it's the best.
yeah, without
Yeah.
a shadow of a doubt.
In fact, I'm gonna order one Friday.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wait. Well, wait.
Hell
Don't
yeah.
forget, Doc, you're coming out with us, remember?
Oh wait, yeah. That's right. That's right.
I
Oh,
was going
sorry,
to say, wait a
I
second.
got a little ahead of myself here. Yes, we're all going out on Friday to haunted house. Where it's Easter themed. So
Yeah,
I
so
got my ticket. I'm pumped.
yeah, so I'll just throw that out since we brought. So yeah, this haunted house we're going to is it's a notorious one. It's not necessarily in Chicago. It's kind of more out in the outskirts. It's in DuPage County, I believe. And that yes, it is, Frank. You're absolutely right. Um, but yeah, the one we're going to is called Disturbia Haunted House, which
Yes.
is going to be located out in Downers Grove. And what's notorious about Disturbia, I think it's probably one of the well, I wouldn't say the first, because 13th, another haunted house, 13th floor has done the same thing, but although not as frequently. Disturbia and 13th floor among the first haunted houses, at least for us in this area, that have extended beyond just Halloween. They've had it open for Christmas, obviously Krampus night.
Yep.
They've had it open for Valentine's Day. And for the longest time, they just only did it for just those three holidays, Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. I don't think 13th floor is doing it, but Disturbia in this case is finally extending to a few other holidays. They did it just just a couple of weeks ago for St. Patrick's Day, which, by the way, I didn't even tell you now. When we went through it that time, we actually could hear audio of the Leprechaun movie playing. I could hear "I Want Me Gold." Yeah. And now for this theme, yes, it's Easter, and the title of it is actually going to be Peter Rottentail.
There you go. And I just, like, usually when I go into haunted houses, like, with friends, I'm always the one leading the group. Like, I remember years ago when I was a separate group of friends, I went into a haunted house with them. I ended up leading them, and, like, whenever a monster or a killer jumps out at us, I'm just like, yo, what's up?
It's funny.
I don't react I don't react at all to haunted houses. So, and my friend, like, halfway through it, they noticed I wasn't scared at all. They're like, "Don, you crazy bastard."
It's actually funny because there is someone else who probably can relate to you on that now, Don. This actually goes back to when we were talking about weed and stuff like that. When we went to the St. Patrick's Day haunted house, me and Nikki, not Nick, obviously not, just so anyone doesn't get confused. We're not talking from Nikki from Australia, a different Nikki. When Nikki and I went to the haunted house, she did smoke a blunt before we got into the haunted house. And as we were walking through, she kind of basically probably had almost a similar personality to like how you just described yourself, Don. She's like just like happy and just having a good time. She said she only ever jumped twice in the haunted house. But you know what? She still she had a good time either way. And that's why she's looking forward to it. So I can't say for sure, but there is a likely chance she'll probably smoke it again before we go to the haunted house this Friday.
And so, like, I remember the biggest way I kind of trolled a monster that was trying to jump out, or a guy dressed up as a monster who tried to, like, scare me by like hanging down and just like swinging forward, be like, ah. And what I did with him, I just went limbo under him. I just was like, la 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 la. Yeah, limbo. Yeah, just did that to taunt to mess with him.
Check this out. What Kate said. When I went to a horror circus and threw up in line while waiting for the show.
No.
Oh wow, that's pretty extreme, Kate. I've never heard of that kind of reaction like that before.
I get a kick out of some of these haunted houses, especially the ones that are, put up at carnivals, or the big ones like up in the Dells. We've got a big one and stuff like that. I walk through them. They don't bother me. I can anticipate everything because a lot of times they don't hide it very well from a guy like me. You can see the switch, or you can see the beam that if you break it, something will happen. The trigger spots. There's a lot of them. If you look, there's like you step on a certain place on a mat, something will pop out at you, or make a noise, or So I end up figuring all this shit out before it even happens. Because I can spot, if I step there, watch, this is going to happen. So I go and I step forward and I ruin it for everybody behind me.
Oh, man.
There was one time, I remember this was over a decade ago. We went to Six Flags Fright Fest. God, you weren't with us. For this
that'd be cool.
Hey, Nick, after that, let's get back to Scary Movie.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to say, there was... it was, and that was back to when the prices were reasonable. Nowadays, it's just absolutely insane.
Oh yeah,
we went through one of the haunted houses, and there was one that actually did a great job scaring the hell out of us. Because we had the expectations, but this we did not expect. We walked by, I think it was supposed to be like a hot tub, and the hot tub basically had like all these fake limbs and stuff like that.
Oh.
And we just kind of figured that it was just for decoration, just to add the unsettling atmosphere. And I don't know how we did not expect this, but all of a sudden, this guy literally jumps out of the water like, dude! Like, holy shit! I was like, okay, that was good. That was we literally said to him, that was really good.
So you had to check your britches after that, huh?
Probably.
I think we did after that. So yeah, it scared the hell out of us.
Oh yeah. Hey, Leon, what's up? How's it going? Yep. And so what I also like how they did parodied Scream, the principal in Scream, like you know how the principal and Principal Himbry from Scream was played by Henry Winkler, who was known as the Fonz in Happy Days.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So what they did in Scary Movie was they had a character named Principal Squiggy Squigman, played by David L. Lander, who was known for playing Squiggy in Laverne and Shirley. I grab breath. Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they took a greaser from another franchise and put that in this. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was, you mentioned Fonzie. And that character Squiggy, from Laverne and Shirley, Fonz, they were on the same show a couple of times.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Scream came before Scary Movie. That's right.
Yeah, 1996.
But that is funny.
Yeah, it is. I find that hilarious. Now that I'm older and I understand the context, I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
And, let's see. Oh, and I like how after Greg was killed, they go to the area where it happened, saying there's no blood or anything, and then it shows the ghost face in the background just mopping everything up, and they're completely oblivious to it, and it shows him carrying the body in a bag, dragging it.
Oh my god!
And it's super heavy, so it's taking him forever, So he's really having troubles with it, and they're
completely oblivious.
I mean, what do you expect when you've committed a murder or something, especially a very bloody one? So yeah, it's going to take a while for you to clean all that up.
Yeah, exactly. And then oh man, when Cindy, what I love the most is where Cindy is being stalked by the killer inside of her house, and talking on the phone saying, "Yeah, I could be anywhere. Where am I?" And then she spots him right behind the couch. She says, "You're behind the couch. I can see your feet." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Okay, turn around, close your eyes, no peeking." Then he ends up hiding behind the curtain, making it completely obvious. And then jumps out at her, and he trips over something. And he's like, "Oh, I gotta stop drinking." And then chases her up the stairs. She throws a pot at her, or she throws a pot at the killer, and then throws a bike down there, and she says, "Oh," it grabs her grandma, and then throws her grandma down at him.
Oh god!
And then when she gets to the top of the stairs, she pushes a piano, and that's what sends him running down. The piano's right behind him. Then when he gets out of the way,
and the way he's running though was hilarious too.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Let me play that. Hang on. You know, it's I don't know if I'm gonna get copyright for this, so I'm gonna play that for everybody right now. Hang on.
The way he was running away from that piano, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I showed this. This is the one scene I showed to my. This is the one scene I showed to my parents, and they laughed like crazy. Yeah, because they don't like horror movies, but this made them laugh. Hang on, let me maximize mine. Hang on.
Just throwing all this stuff. Oh,
grandma!
Goodness. Oh god!
Grandma gets it again.
Well, not only she basically killed an innocent her grandma.
She killed her own grandma.
Well, that's going to be turned into your next Christmas song.
Grandma got crushed
by a piano.
Oh, runaway piano.
Run over by piano.
That's basically the sequel. Man, she just can't get enough.
Grandma cannot catch a break.
She cannot.
Father Death is running away. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah, that was the one part I laughed at as a kid. I still laugh at it to this day. Oh my god! But then this what happens right next? I think it's even more hilarious as like now watching it, knowing the context of it. She goes upstairs and like locks herself in her bedroom and then types an email saying to the police like they ask what your emergency is. She says white woman in trouble, and within a fraction of a second, the police are outside of her house.
Yeah.
I mean, they try to get there as fast as they can. So hey, and who knows? They probably
it's a race joke, Nick. It's a race joke.
I know it is.
And
I'm just going along with it.
Yeah, but now that I understand the context of that, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, and if she would have said, rich white woman, they would have been twice as fast. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we get race jokes everywhere now. Like even the Grinch, which came out the same year, had a race joke. Like where he says taxi, and then it keeps going, and he says, "It's because I'm green, isn't it?"
It's right. That was 2000. That was also 2000. That movie came out.
So, oh yeah, it was like, nope, screw this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ghostface gave like a shot, like a moment where he was like looking back, saying, "Wow, she actually threw her grandma at me."
And she wasn't even part of the killing spree.
No. Oh man, but what do you think is the funniest moment of the whole movie?
Like I said, because I'm gonna have to go with what we just brought up with the throwing the piano at him.
Oh man.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that scene.
Okay, what about you, Joe?
I like the one where he was like sitting in the stoner circle kind of, and all the faces he made during that scene, and the what's up scene.
Yeah, what's up?
Because I remember those Budweiser commercials, and I was at the time I was getting a little sick of the frogs and stuff. So then when they came out with I was like, wow, those were some pretty good commercials.
Oh yeah. Here, just to remind people, here it's a parody of this commercial. Here, hang on.
Oh, I remember these. Here.
That commercial has made a couple of parodies.
Yes, it has.
I can't remember the movie, but there was like one of those like stoner movies.
Oh yeah.
And they were all sitting around, and it's like just smoking some bud and getting high. And what about you? And then you can start the "What's up" thing. And
yeah, it's like, I look back on that commercial, and I'm just like, wow, it's so stupid, but yet so damn funny.
It really is.
It's classic now.
Yeah, like my cousin actually, when one of my younger cousins, when he saw this movie, when he saw Scary Movie, he actually dressed up as Ghostface with the mask of him sticking of Ghostface sticking his tongue out, and he said, well,
I think we actually sold those when I was working at Spirit Halloween.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think we had those.
Oh yeah, and one other scene that I found funny was where Buffy was being killed by Ghostface when she was like not believing Ghostface was a killer and thought it was just. Then she was like playing along with it, saying, "Oh, look at this! I'm running. Oh, now I'm gonna fall and break my leg, leaving me completely helpless." Then it shows her breaking her leg, compound fracture.
Oh, gee.
He's like, "See, there you go, killer. I'm freaked out right now." Then he like cuts off her head, and the severed head she was just like, as a severed head, she was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm dead. I'm a gross, scary severed head." And then Ghostface started getting annoyed, and they just threw her in the recycling bin or lost and found. Into lost and found.
You know, and I didn't even know who she was at first. I was like sitting there baffled the whole time trying to figure out where I knew her from, you know.
Shannon Elizabeth
Yeah, I had to look it up. And she was on that 70s show.
and American
Oh,
Pie.
really?
And on American Pie, yeah, she was a foreign exchange student.
Yeah, and
Oh,
also
that's-
Jack Frost, her first movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, seriously, this movie's way funnier than that one.
Isn't that the truth?
Hell yeah. Yeah, seriously, I will gladly take Scary Movie over Jack Frost anytime.
Well, they need to see. That's the other thing. You know, that movie just brings that up. Halloween, Jack Frost movie, and it's like things, and they make another movie, not even relevant, right?
Yeah.
And give it the same title,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
And it's like you get confused when you see them on TV and stuff, and they don't have the right description, and you're going, "What the hell?"
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because the other movie named Jack Frost, it stars Michael Keaton in it.
Right. Yeah, it's like I told people this before on here. It's like I wonder how many blockbusters out there have trolled people by switching the movies into their cases. Like a family's trying to get like,
Excuse me.
yeah, like a family's trying to get the Michael Keaton like a family-friendly Jack Frost, but they open it and play it, and it turns out to be the horror version. I wonder how
Right.
I wonder how many blockbusters have done that to people.
I don't know.
I wonder too.
Yeah. If so, that is a pretty effective way of trolling.
Yep.
It really is. It really is.
But there's only one blockbuster left, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like located all the way up in Alaska.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one's still in business.
Actually,
you know
I
what?
thought it was in
Look.
Colorado.
You know what? I'm
Now I'm going to look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Give me a minute here while I'm looking.
Yeah. And
Here
yeah,
we go.
now that I think about it, I feel like Doofy was pretty much one of the very few slashers or slasher villains that succeeded, that got away.
Oh, just real quick. Okay, I got it. So turned out, Joe, you and I are both incorrect. The last remaining black. Oh my God! I can't believe
what?
it. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. The last remaining blockbuster, not only just in the United States, this is also in the entire world, is located in 211 Northeast Revere Avenue in Bend, Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. I just
Oregon, that's right.
Operating as a franchise, this location survived due to local support, has become a popular tourist landmark and nostalgic
That's
attraction.
because I think it was Netflix or somebody did the movie on the last remaining blockbuster. Because I remember that because if you go to the Facebook page, her picture's there, the manager or owner of that blockbuster, and they did like a trek all the way to that store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, well, it says it-
they did a parody to that movie on the one with Stewie and Lois, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy. They also parodied Blockbuster in South Park.
Yes, they have. They have. And also, I remember, and also back when.
Yeah,
Blockbuster
but they did
was
the
actually-
last blockbuster, you know, because Lois and
Wait,
Peter
oh, Peter.
Peter had an overdue blockbuster video, you know, and he had to go all the way to West Bend, Oregon to return it.
Right.
So they went on a trek deal. The whole thing was about that trek to the, you know, and then he had like an outrageous fine at the end or something.
So it says, yeah, this one, well, in this case, it says for this one, it's become a popular tourist landmark, a nostalgic attraction that still rents out DVDs and sells branded merchandise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well,
It-
they can kiss my ass. They put, I back in the early 90s in Wisconsin here, Madison to be exact, I had a video store, okay, and a small little arcade, and I was located in a little strip mall between two high schools. Perfect place for a little arcade when you had a pool table, dartboard, pinball machines, some stand-up video games and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then and at the same time, the video rentals was more video game movie, renting for your Nintendo or your Sega Genesis or whatever it was at the time,
Right.
to try before you buy. That's how I did it. Was always rented the game first and seeing if I liked it or not. All right, and it brought in a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I was just starting to show a profit, and going, oh, I'm gonna make it here, and Blockbuster moves in 3 blocks away.
Yeah, that was when they started putting a lot of those mom and
Oh.
pop stores out of business.
They
Oh
did.
yeah, they bought out one of the chain stores called Doorstop here in town, or not here in town, but Doorstop was started by disgruntled Woodman's employees because Woodman's used to have a video rental store, and they turn around and when Woodman's decided to close their video thing down, they went out and started Doorstop Video.
I didn't know Woodman's had a video rental area. I
Yeah,
thought
they
it was
did
like
at
a
one
typical
time.
grocery store.
But the chain stores that were popping up were competing with them,
Yeah.
and they weren't getting the business because they'd only get the business when people were grocery shopping, because 9 times out of 10 there was a video store closer to somebody than going to Woodman's.
Hmm.
Back then.
But
Wow.
I mean,
So I was in the management because I started out at one of those chains. We started out as a small little store, and we ended up having 4 stores. We changed our name and everything and disassociated ourselves with the rent. There was a furniture rent-to-own business back then too. It was big. So we disassociated ourselves and just turned into box office video, and we ended up opening 4 stores across Madison. And Woodman's wasn't even our competitor. And one of our stores was right across the street from a Woodman's.
oh,
And
man.
and we never even worried about them
Wow.
because we were able to keep titles in and guarantee, some of them new releases. And you get there and Woodman's would have 25, 30 copies of it, and they all be gone or stolen.
Wow.
Wow.
Man. For me, Blockbuster was a staple of my childhood because, that's how I was able to analyze and really get into movies back then. I would go. My parents would take me every weekend. Yeah, my
I
parents
don't
would.
like you.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I know.
It's not your fault.
Yeah,
But the thing I didn't like about the other thing I didn't like about Blockbuster, okay,
I mean,
you go into a video store, all right, Don, and you're well versed on movies, all right?
yep.
You usually know what you're looking for, but some people don't. So they come in and they go, what's a good horror movie, or what's a good comedy, or what have you seen lately?
Oh
You
yeah.
got to be able to answer them. At Blockbuster, I did this just out of curiosity, and you'd ask them that question, and they'd be going, uh.
Yeah.
I applied for a job after my store went under, and there was some time passed and stuff.
Yeah.
I applied for a job at Blockbuster. It was the first place that said to me, I was too overqualified, and they
Ah,
Oh
couldn't
my
pay me enough.
God.
like like I feel like 6-year-old me back then was more qualified than some of the staff were. I mean, I overheard like a staff member comment about me saying, "I can't believe a 6-year-old kid actually is so into horror movies."
Wow.
You know,
That's crazy.
that was back in 1998.
Well, and if you met a lot of those people that worked at those blockbusters, half of them were idiots when it came to movies. Me, when I was working as a part-time gig before I became management, and then I ended up owning my own store, I was watching 5, 6 movie, and these were on VHS, So there was no rewinding and pausing and all
Yeah,
this, It wasn't like this. I was watching 5 movies a night, but I
yeah,
hardly slept. See,
Right.
because I have a high metabolism, so it also kept me from, I had insomnia a lot. So I watched a lot of movies, and not all of them were your top notch new release movies. I dig deep and look for some of the horror B title classics that weren't really always heard of. Not
Right. Right.
some of the
right.
not so popular movies.
Oh yeah,
Just so that I'd have something that I could recommend to anybody that walked in. And when somebody walked into my store that I was working at, I knew my customers by first name the
wow,
minute they walked through the door.
amazing.
Wow.
I had a memory and I could bring up their account. I had a memory of everybody and I knew what kind of movies they usually were looking for.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I was good at my job.
oh yeah.
I would have succeeded if it wasn't for Blockbuster. You can't compete with a multi-billion. I mean, and then later,
I mean,
they brought
that's
into Spelling Enterprises. They got even bigger.
oh yeah, that's
You
how it
know,
is that's how it is in the business world, Joe. It's always fierce competition.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
even in the video game industry back then, like you mentioned, Sega, like they and along with Nintendo and play and
oh yeah,
Sony, and now with
those
and also
Yeah.
consuming wars
and
were
yeah,
just as fierce as the you had the fast food wars between Burger King and McDonald's,
Yep.
yep,
Pepsi versus Coke, and
yeah,
the Nintendo versus Sega, Atari. You know,
yeah. I mean, yeah, back in the '90s, like I was saying, yeah, that's true. I mean, there was Nintendo and Sega fiercely in competition, especially at that time when Sony threw their hat in the ring with the PlayStation, and
yeah,
like, and then it got to the point where like Sega just went downhill, even with their final console being the Dreamcast. So this just goes to
I
show that,
missed the Dreamcast. I
yeah,
had one. I got to replace it yet.
oh
I'm
yeah.
looking
I
for
mean,
one.
that's the reality of it is like the business world is not always fair to people.
No, it's not.
Unfortunately not.
And I learned a lot, but I was naive. I didn't investigate, and do my research, or I might have found out that Blockbuster was going to be moving in, 6 months later. 3 blocks down the road from me. Um, but later, it did teach me a big lesson because later I did all the research I needed to do. I just couldn't get the money to open a business that I would have been successful in.
Right.
And
Right.
there was still a lot of competition in the Madison area, but I found the perfect location just outside of Madison. Drop
Right.
your computer off on your way to work, and on your way back, you can pick it up and, it'd be repaired, maybe.
Right. Right.
But that was the whole concept because I was just outside of Madison, and most of the people that lived in that town, Cottage Grove, worked in Madison, and there was only one road to travel on that road, and I was going to put a computer repair store right there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, my
But I
family's
did the research to the whole
I,
thing.
I,
I did. It took a couple of years of research to do all the stuff we did.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, believe me, I know that situation all too. I mean, my father had a business that had faced tough times during like the in the business world, like during the housing market crash, because he ran a business that installed cabinets and like did carpentry for new houses. You know, so I know that situation
Yeah,
all too
and
well.
see, I was trying this during that bad time where banks weren't giving loans to people and are taking any risks, you know. And I had guaranteed in writing and everything. I don't know if you guys are familiar with uh, DVR.
Yep.
Yeah, DVR. Yeah.
All
Yes.
right, Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. I had a $45,000 grant from them based on if I could get the rest of the money from the banks. And that
Oh,
was in writing.
see you, Thomas. Hope your allergies get better.
And that wasn't easy to convince all those suits. You know,
Yeah.
I went to like 3 or 4 different meetings with them at DVR, and I sat down and convinced, you know, everybody around that table that I was a good risk.
Yeah.
You know, because not only did I have certifications and all of this in computers, you know, Microsoft is a certification and all, but I had somebody else with me that also had some of those certifications,
Yeah.
you know.
I hear
So
that.
we weren't going in this blindly, and I owned a business in the past, and I was making a profit before a year was up, you
Yeah.
know.
And let's see. Oh, Nick, I just remembered something. Nick, you said you wanted to show something before this
Yeah,
ended.
I did. I wanted to show a bit. So quick. I know it's been a while, but obviously in the earlier episodes that we did when we first started, I used to show audiobooks, and I haven't really done that in quite a long time. Most of the time, it was just my stuff or the stuff that I worked on. But for tonight, I'm going to show a video. It's not done by me. I want to give full credit. It's by, if any of you guys are familiar with the YouTube channel Creepy Pasta Junior. He did a lot of like different story. I mean, they were not true, but they were still actually paranormal and cryptid themed too.
Oh
But
yeah.
this one, um, you'll get the understanding of why I'm going to show this one. And just so everybody knows, it's going to be about 10 minutes. So we are going to be off for about 10 minutes, but we'll still be behind. We'll still be behind the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, just want to and if you can, Don, like if anybody does comment, we'll get to the comments after because I'm going to show it's actually the video itself, and I don't think it's going to be a copyright issue because it's an audiobook and
Right.
it has been shared on other shows. So we'll respond to comments after the video is over. But check this out. So the story I'm going to present here is called "There Are Strange Things Living in the Woods." So here we go.
All right. Let's see. Let's see.
I've lived in the same small town my entire life, which, granted, hasn't been for very long. My family moved here right before I was born. When I asked each of my parents why they chose this place to settle down and start a family, they both told me it was the other's idea. My mom told me that my father wanted to get back to nature, so a small rural town was perfect. On the other hand, my father told me that it was my mom's idea, that she was exhausted from the fast-paced lifestyle of living in the city. Ultimately, they both just wanted a nice, quiet place to start a family. Our town is, for lack of a better term, tiny. There are only a handful of shops in the town center and hardly much else. Most of the time, if you want to see or purchase anything worthwhile, you'd have to take the main road to the next city over. It was a hassle, but that's what happens when you live so far removed from society. Our house is situated a bit further away from the town itself. We live in a small neighborhood in the middle of the woods, basically. There are other houses where we live, so it's not wholly isolated, but still, you'd be hard-pressed to get a pizza delivered out this way. By the time I was old enough to walk around outside on my own, I had met all of my neighbors. Well, almost all of them. Living in the house directly adjacent to ours was a woman in her mid-30s. She was incredibly nice and would visit us often. Her and my mom became very close friends. I later found out that she has a son of her own who was much older than I am, but he went traveling abroad some time ago. A bit farther down the road, if you can even call a dirt trail a road, lives another family. They are an older couple. It's funny when I think about it, as it's probably a perfect example of my parents in about 30 years. They both spend their days sitting on their front porch, watching nature from the comfort of their own house. Throughout the year, my mom would send me over to their place from time to time with baked goods, and they'd always let me take a few pieces as payment for delivery. They were very kind, and gave off that loving grandparent kind of vibe, though I'm not sure they ever had any children. Not all of my neighbors were as approachable as the others. There was a man who lived in a house a bit further down from us. From what my parents have told me, he's a much older man who mainly likes to keep to himself. He rarely leaves his house, and the few times my parents have spoken to him, they told me that he was a little strange. I've seen him only a handful of times when I walk by his house. He would often just be standing on his porch staring off into the distance. They told me it was probably best to avoid him, just to be on the safe side. Growing up in a town such as this one is somewhat difficult for a kid. There was hardly anything to do aside from chores or staying in my room all day. By the time I was a teenager, I was spending the majority of my day helping my mother do yard work. She had gotten into gardening sometime during my youth. Over time, she had turned our whole front yard into a crop field, basically. She was growing almost everything. At first, it was just to supplement our food stores, so we didn't have to travel into town very often. But eventually, it grew even larger than that. We started giving away free produce to our neighbors who gladly accepted. Then she even started selling the surplus to the market in town. While they do get regular shipments in, it was nice to have another source of fresh produce. So not only was she making our shopping trips cheaper, she was also getting paid in the process. My father, on the other hand, worked in the next city over. He worked for some corporation. He never really talked much about his job other than the long hours he had. I remember he took me with him to the city a few times, and each of those times I was utterly overwhelmed. My life was progressing normally until one day, I ventured farther away from home than I should have. It was the middle of summer, and after finishing all my chores, I decided to go out for a walk. This wasn't something new, as I've often taken walks around the neighborhood. It was a sort of cathartic ritual I had, something that would put my mind at ease. I would walk along the tree line, bouncing a stick off every tree trunk I'd pass by, thinking about life, my plans for the future, school, and all the places I wanted to visit when I was older. My mind drifted, and before I knew it, the hot summer sun was no longer overhead. The last remnants of light were quickly fading behind the trees. I glanced around and realized that I was no longer in my neighborhood. I was now on a path through the dense forest. With this sudden realization came panic, as I couldn't seem to get my bearings. Every single tree looked identical to me, and even the path behind me seemed unrecognizable. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes for a moment. I told myself that there was no need to panic, just to turn around and start walking back home. So that's precisely what I did. I began walking back the way I came. As I did, I began looking at the trees more closely. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it felt like there was something in the trees, something following me, something stalking me. I started to pick up my pace a bit, walking faster and faster. It wasn't long until I was nearly sprinting through the woods. I could feel my lungs desperately trying to pull oxygen into my body to keep my legs moving. And then I tripped. My leg caught hold of a tree root and I fell face first into the dirt below. As I wiped the grime from my face, I heard something behind me. The snapping of a twig and the shuffling of leaves. Something was out there. I rolled over onto my back to see what it was. but it was far too dark to make out anything. I rose to my feet and looked around. There was nothing nearby as far as I could tell, but that wasn't my main concern at the moment, as I made the unnerving realization that I could no longer see the path in front of me. I started walking through the trees with my best guess, hoping I was going the correct way. After another 5 minutes of walking aimlessly, I heard that same exact noise again. I turned, and this time, I saw 2 eyes staring at me from the darkness. Seeing those eyes sent warning signals shooting throughout my entire body. Whether it was a person or something else, I couldn't be sure, so I ran. This time, however, I was trying my best to be more deliberate with my foot placements. After running for a few more minutes, I stopped. Those 2 eyes, which I had just seen behind me in the darkness, were now directly in front of me. Eyes staring at me with a malicious intent, like a predator cornering its prey. I felt my body freeze in place as I stared into those eyes carefully. Then, after a minute, the sound of a twig snapping in the distance sent this thing charging at me. It leapt through the air with incredible speed. It collided with me, sending me crashing to the ground. I struggled against it, but my strength was quickly waning. Seeing it up close now was terrifying. Its eyes were narrow and threatening. Sharp fangs snapped at my face over and over again. Its hands were like knives, and they were digging into my arms and shoulders. I felt helpless, like I was about to be devoured alive by whatever this thing was. I could feel my hands and arms begin to sting as numerous cuts began to appear on them. I was beginning to think I was truly going to die out there. With my options quickly running out, I took one last deep breath and summoned as much of my strength as I could muster. I shoved this thing as hard as I could. It flew off me, tumbling end over end into the dirt. I took this chance and scrambled to my feet. I started running, faster than I ever had in my life. I ran until my legs threatened to give out on me. In the distance, through the trees, I spotted a light. I could feel relief wash over me as my pace slowed. I made it just outside of the tree line and collapsed. As I was lying there with my vision fading, I could see someone running towards me. I came back to consciousness a little while later, a bright light overhead irritating my eyes. I instinctively covered them with my hands, and that's when I noticed that my hands and arms had been bandaged up. I looked around wondering what had happened and where I was. Then I heard a door open, and someone entered the room. I sat up and saw that it was that strange old guy my parents had mentioned before. He walked up to me and with a smile said, "Hello there. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor."
April Fools!
Nice.
I had to show that. I saw that actually a couple months ago. I gotta show this on FearFans.
Yeah, that was a good build-up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people are like, oh man, he got us good. He got us real good.
Oh man. Nice. Wow. So
And also happy 30th anniversary, Pokemon.
Yep, that's right. Happy 30th anniversary to the highest grossing media franchise of all time. And it started by a man with autism, just like us.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yes. Oh yeah.
How'd you like it, Joe?
He's just thinking, you millennials. Man, but
That was fun.
yeah, it was great. Oh, so I guess that's going to be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Yeah, hey Nick, if you're interested, I would love for you to decide what we should cover next. I want to leave it up to you this time.
Oh man, there's there's still a lot out there we have yet to cover.
Hey, we're gonna. Yeah, that's a new thing about this podcast is that we're not doing this every week. It's gonna be like every other week to like every 3 weeks, depending on how we. And yeah, it depends.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was just thinking of a couple other. I was just thinking of a couple other ones these last couple of days. I should have. You know what I should have done was I should have also wrote them down just so I could have them memorized.
That's okay.
Oh, you know, I just thought of one. There was one I actually did bring, although I think this was more of one of those movies. I think you'd rather wait till the summertime. Did we remind me too? Did we ever? No, I don't think we did. I don't think we've covered the Funhouse yet.
We have not.
Yeah, that was one I was thinking about.
We could still cover that. You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, hey, people have fun houses in springtime too. So
Yeah. Well, like at the haunted house we're going to this upcoming Friday. I mean, it is a haunted house, but that is still technically considered a fun house.
yeah, Funhouse, directed by Toby Hooper, right?
Yeah, it's the same director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist.
Yeah, I think that's a good candidate for that.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
I don't have an opinion.
Okay.
Well, I believe that movie's available on Tubi, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, because I was just scrolling on Tubi looking for movies to watch. I was actually looking up since we saw Critters 2 at your Easter party. I was actually watching the original Critters again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, all the Critters movies are on there now.
Yeah, all four of them. By the way, speaking of movies, too, I thought I should just tell you because Rochelle texted me.
Oh.
She actually sent me a text saying, give me a second here. She said, I'm just scrolling through. She said, she sent me a screenshot of this movie, and she's like, I'm surprised we don't have a holiday movie night based on this movie, April Fool's Day, the one from 1986. I said, I've shown it before, close to Easter before.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, she said she doesn't remember her. But I still said, I do enjoy that movie too. So even though, Critters 2 is kind of taking its place, that shouldn't stop us from seeing April Fool's Day because we could always switch it until another Easter horror movie comes around. We could always just switch it every other year. Like one year it's April Fool's Day, next year's Critters 2.
Yeah, we could.
Fall.
Yeah.
So I just simply said to her, well, for next Easter, consider it done.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, like you said, next week or not next week. Sorry. Next time on here, like in 2 weeks, maybe, hopefully in 2 weeks, and we cover Funhouse.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast, and yeah,
definitely great to be back.
Yeah, I was about to say we're back.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to seeing Ghostface returning in the new Scary Movie.
Yeah, it will be interesting. It'll be
very great. And I looking back at that trailer, I gotta say Marlon and Sean Wayans and pretty much the majority of the cast have aged really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures of what they look like. Yeah. The 25 years.
Yeah,
they're doing something to keep themselves going.
Yeah, they have access to the fountain of youth, and I want it.
Yeah. Well, hey, just remember, Don, we still have that youthful appearance ourselves. So consider yourselves lucky. Consider us lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got my hair. Yeah, I've still got my metabolism. So,
I'm just gonna throw this out. I've told you about this band before. That band Pavement. I told you about them.
Yep.
They were that indie rock band from the 90s. And I just thought, I still remember there was one time, like in the early 2000s, where they were actually on Stephen Colbert's show.
Oh, yeah.
And even in their 40s, they still looked relative. Even Stephen Colbert pointed that out. And he's like, you guys are pretty young, still have such a youthful appearance for guys like in your 40s. Like, what is it that you guys do to stay so young? And Stephen Malkmus, the lead singer of the band, which, by the way, I always think almost every interview, I think he's always high. So his response was in response to Stephen Colbert's question, he simply, saying, how does he have this youthful appearance? He just goes, I guess it's just the showers, maybe.
They say you should shower before you go to bed. It does help.
That's what I do.
Yep.
Oh, what do we got here, Joe?
Oh, advertisement.
Oh, the Southern Fried Paranormal Podcast. You're going to be on that show. Okay.
All right.
That's this upcoming Thursday, April 2nd. Okay, and that's good, Joe, because as I don't think we're going to be doing supernatural talk that night, so I should be around to tune into that show. So, but for everybody else here in the chat, yeah, definitely go check out when Joe's on this show this upcoming Thursday night.
For sure. All right. So
thanks for sharing that, Joe.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job with the graphics.
That's really good. Yeah, and matter of fact, I think I was actually on one of the very first episodes when the Southern Fried Podcast, paranormal podcast started. So yeah. I've been on that show. I was on that show myself a few years ago.
Nice. Oh, Billy's asking, are we covering Scary Movie 2 next Tuesday? Here's the thing, Billy. One new thing that we're doing this podcast is that we're not doing this every week now. And also, I'm letting people in the network I'll decide which one they want to cover on here. So I decided to let Nick have a go at that, and so there's a good chance that next time we're going to be covering The Funhouse, which is an 80s slasher directed by Tobe Hooper.
I think it's just important to say, and I'm not going to go into too much detail of it, but yes, we may have done the show almost every week. However, as fun as we have a good time with doing the show, and I'm not only just saying this for FearFans, I'm also saying this for the other shows that I run, it does eventually become stressful and puts a lot of stress on us. So every now and then you need to definitely have some balance. You need to have a break in between and just regather. And just because that we're not doing it every week does not mean that this is truly the end. We're just not going to do it every single week because it's just going to, I hate to put it this way, it would basically just slowly but surely be killing us. And we need all the energy that we need to just recharge and be ready for the next one. So that's, and I'm mainly speaking that from a podcast host perspective, is that doing shows is fun. When you're doing them almost every single week, especially throughout the year, it does get tiring. So that's just kind of the reality of when you're doing a show. And that's also the reason why I haven't done my own show, Nick Files, in almost about 2 years now, because, well, yes, I've been focused on other projects, but, at the same time, however, even though I haven't done my show in almost 2 years, I've actually literally compiled a list of future haunted and historic locations and events that I would like to eventually cover in the very near future. And I can tell you, I got a lot of places to go, including some from Wisconsin too, Joe, in case you asked. I mean,
oh, yeah?
I got probably over 500 locations, maybe even more than that. And put it this way, if our network is still around over the next couple of years, well, actually, honestly, even if it didn't exist anymore, it still shouldn't stop us from doing our shows. So what I'm basically just trying to say, if what I'm seeing from this list is correct, this is just a guess, but I probably may have enough locations now to last my show going, not only just to last for the rest of this year when I get back to it, but it's probably enough to say probably will last up till the year 2031 or 2032.
So what places are in Wisconsin?
Oh, I would have to. It's a huge list.
Name a couple.
What's that?
Name a couple.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll name it. All right. Bear with me for just a quick minute then, because I got to go through this.
What about Bray Road?
Yeah, Bray Road's obviously one of them, no doubt. Bray Road. That is actually going to be.
Well, I'll tell you something about it. Stick around afterwards. You don't want this aired out in public.
No. What I was just going to say was, so what I've also been doing with the change of Nick Files is, when it gets closer to the Halloween season, that's where I actually do cover more cryptid-related episodes. Essentially, I basically have kind of made it the Halloween specials during that time, is covering the cryptids. And the Beast of Bray Road, obviously being a cryptid itself, is no exception. And that's going to... I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a slideshow out of that one for this year, but hopefully next year I'll be able to. Because, like I said, I got a lot of different locations, a lot of different
Well,
subjects that I got to cover.
Yeah.
I'll take you down Bray Road one of these days.
Yeah, I would love to. I would absolutely love to.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, well,
It's just
oh
too
wait,
bad we
Joe
can't
wanted
go
to.
onto the property.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. What was that, Joe?
It's just too bad that. Anyway, we'll discuss that afterwards.
Okay. Well, to name a few of them, because I also had them saved on. I also had them saved to some of the document. I'll at least mention at least 5 of them because
Okay.
one of them actually you do know. Undoubtedly, another one is, well, even though it doesn't exist anymore, Summerwind Mansion. That's one of them. The Feister Hotel in Milwaukee, the Wood County Insane Asylum in Marshfield, Witch Road in Ripon, the Grand Opera House in Oshkosh. Oh, there was also that other cemetery. What was that cemetery called? That was in it was in the show Haunting. It was not far from Madison.
Fuck, what is it? There's something about that.
It was like oh, Dartford Cemetery in Green Lake. That's what it was.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. In the early, when the show of Haunting originally aired back in the early 2000s, when they did like a second, like when they made their last season of the early 2000s, they did an episode. It's called. In fact, no, I'm just looking this up now on IMDb. This was in 2007, and it was Dartford Cemetery, and I think, oh yeah, that's right. Chad Lewis was in this episode.
Of what?
In the episode of A Haunting about Dartford Cemetery.
Ah.
So, yeah, this was from 2007.
And then I've probably seen that too, but trying to find 125 to 127.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing about this on your show, Nick.
Yeah, like I said, as of right now, I except for some occasions, I still don't know exactly when I'll eventually bring Nick Files back because, like I said, I'm so involved with the audio. Again, I am still involved with the audio projects, but I'm going a bit slower because I know that's actually through the encouragement that you guys have been telling me not to watch.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Here's I just looked it up because I wanted to be sure. I've got, a book by Chad Lewis and Terry.
I got that. I have that same book.
All right. So you're talking about That Witch Road.
That's correct. Yes, in Ripon.
Now,
correctly.
I'll tell you something, and I'll wait till we go off the air about that.
Yeah.
I got a story to tell you about Witch Road.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, because of my involvement with the other projects, I'm trying to get those taken care of. And once I do that, then I'll eventually bring Nick Files back. I can assure you guys, because once the projects are done, I'll have a lot more time to get back to Nick Files.
All right. So that's going to be it for this edition of the Fear Fans podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. And in 2 weeks or so, we will come back to Nick's choice on what movie. So hope you guys enjoyed. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Have a good night.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, too. Yes, that too. Have a good night.